everyone, I'm Kelsey.
And I'm George.
And you're listening to the Box Officers Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Please continue to support us by leaving us a star rating and review wherever you're listening to this episode.
Watching a bad movie is like witnessing a serious crime, but have no fear, the box officers are here. Each episode, Kelsey, J. Pat, and I will review a new movie, and at the end of the episode, we will classify each film according to the severity of punishment.
Films can be convicted of a felony, a misdemeanor, an infraction, or on the rare occasion found innocent. Now, this week, we are going to be reviewing Wuthering Heights, so if you haven't seen it yet, you're going to want to pause this episode now because there's going to be a lot of spoilers. Otherwise, let's get into the episode. I've been waiting on this one.
Really?
Because not the movie, the review, the opportunity to talk about it.
I was going to say.
No,
I thought you were waiting on it because I was going to say the marketing rollout on this was really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I think they did a lot of press, which I like when movies do that because, like, I know a lot of times, especially if it's something super big like this, like, they don't have to do it. But even when I think about movies like Marty Supreme and, like, how he did all this, like, marketing stuff, I'm like, this is what I like to see. Try to sell it to me. Just try. Flirt with me a little bit. So this movie did, like, a lot, but it was really interesting because something that everyone talked about was Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordi, what's the vibes? That I was sad. I wanted to hear all the commentary, and the streets were saying it's go girl, give us nothing. Like, they were saying it's saltine crackers. Like, there's nothing yummy about it. I kind of understand where they're coming from. Like, if you watch them, okay, you remember when Jessica Chastain, I think it was, and Oscar Isaac were doing red carpet for something.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
like,
people were like,
you're having an affair.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it didn't give that. That's true.
It didn't give that. And it needs to give that.
Do you think it's because of the age gap?
Partly, honestly. And I know it's Margot Robbie, so it's like, does age even matter? Not as much with her, but still, like, first of all, Jacob Elordi, I forget who he's dating, but he's in a relationship, so let's say he's already in love with the girl for real. And if he's not into, like, the vibe, like, I can see how that'd be, like, he can only give so much. And even for her, like, I think that could go both ways. Like, she might be looking at him like, I'm not trying to touch this boy.
It didn't really give, like, soulmates or even, like, attraction. It just gave, okay, these are two good-looking people who are together. Like, I didn't really feel... It gave, we're acting, this is my job.
It gave, we're acting, this is my job. Like, I was like,
yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like they're both two people who can, like, put on some charm. So even like when I just saw them doing interviews and stuff, I feel like they complimented each other very well. And by complimented, I mean like verbally complimentary to each other. Not that they like, they're dynamic, complimented each other. It just felt like two professionals, which is okay. I think, hey, maybe less stars should have affairs, but it's just something about like when you watch Scandal and you have like these interviews and you're like, oh my goodness, like, not even the interviews, you watch the show even, and you're like, wow, like they need to be married in real life, and they're actually both married in real life, but you're like, no, I'd rather them leave their partners and be together, just because you're buying into the chemistry so much. And it's like, not only did I not feel that from them in their interviews and the carpet, one could say I didn't feel that in the movie either.
Oh, that's a take.
Yeah, let's just get into it.
I think in the movie, it kind of gave like stripped down a little bit in the sense that I felt like they were forcing it for them to be together in a way. Like, I didn't necessarily feel like they were meant to be together. I think that's what I want to say.
Okay, like, so this is more so like to the plot. You feel like it didn't have to.
Apparently, she took some creative decisions, creative liberties that I think maybe would have changed the outcome. So I'm speaking in that regard. It just felt like maybe not him. No, it is him. Because I heard that
because he's white.
It's because I heard that he was like way more like giving uriner in the book. And I think it fell flat with the rest of the themes that were going on. I think the uriner level needs to be like slightly raised. I think it was enough for like, it gave like courtship, it gave we love each other. It definitely gave that, but it didn't give like the unequal like desire like level. Like it gave like she wanted him, but I don't know. Like I feel like he wanted her, but it wasn't like I literally need you. Like you're my oxygen.
Are you saying in the book that people are saying it was more he wanted her like way
Yes.
way more?
And he yearned for her, like literally.
And she's
that
like,
word.
"Oh, I love him" or whatever, and he's like, can't breathe.
Exactly. I think that was missing from this, and it kind of got tuned down a little bit or tamed down a little bit, and I think that's why it fell flat to me. Like I wasn't convinced. Like I wasn't convinced of anything. It just gave like we live in the same village, the same little city, and we decided to get together. Like high school sweethearts or something. But it didn't really give like like lovers, soul entwined and everything. It just gave like convenience. And then they became like anxiously attached to each other.
I was gonna say it gave trauma bonding.
Exactly.
Not yearning.
That's what it is. Like that's literally what it gave. Like it didn't give like yearning for, like love, which I think is a critique. Like I don't think this is like healthy love story. So maybe that's not really a critique. Yeah, like I don't think this was supposed to be like aspirational or anything. I guess they're just showing this is a love story or this is a story of people. So I guess I can't critique it on that if you look at it from that perspective. But if it's like given from like a love, like a romance, it wasn't given that to me.
Sure. I would say I kind of agree. Like I can see how it, and because I didn't read the book, right, it's only so much like I can do comparatively. But based on what you're saying, to me, it felt like two yearners and it felt almost equal. The only part where it felt like, I can't even say it felt unequal because in the end, like, he was doing a lot, but so was she. So it feels like, you know, it didn't give like he was, I don't know, desperately seeking her out in a way that was like, if anything, I felt like as someone who didn't read the book, the movie made me feel like almost she was the one who was like doing a little too much. Like, because what do you mean? Like, I don't know, maybe because we just get so much of her perspective in the movie as opposed to his. Like, there's a good chunk where he's not, like, present. And so I think that's part of it. I also think there's probably in the book more context around their younger versions, like before she departs, or before he departs and before she gets married. And it just seemed like almost at first, like, it never I'm not going to say siblings, but like there was a point where I was like, this just seems like two kids who only have, like, you're my only friend. Like, it seems very
I'm saying.
Sincere, and it felt like, and then it just jumped. And I was like,
exactly.
There was only one moment where, like, I think they were in the rain and they held hands. And I was like, but I need you to show me what happened between holding hands and this. Like, I can assume, but I think if you had showed it to me, it would have really added context to his level, Heathcliff's level of, like, yearning. Maybe.
Yeah, it just gave like convenient. Yeah, I was like, it just gave convenient. I think maybe we needed a little bit more scenes other than like the trauma bonding, abusive scenes where they're like, okay, we actually choose each other because of like maybe like, a healthier reason.
Yeah, it's giving he got beat in, like, he was beat for your sake, so you're down for him, I guess. Which like cool, but like also for you to be this down bad, like it has to be more than that. And I do believe it is more than that. Like I can read the subtext and understand, like, obviously it's deep, but I just wish they had showed me why it's so deep.
Yeah, I think that was definitely missing because it just gave like, you're the only boy in town and you lived in my house.
Literally.
Like, and I'm just like, okay, but she's grown. She's 30.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna need something a little bit more than that. It feels a little skeleton.
I can see that. And also, like, with casting, Margot Robbie is, we don't have to guess. I can look it up. So Margot Robbie in real life is 35. Love her bad. But am I correct in understanding that she was supposed to be playing a, like, 17-year-old at, like, the main part?
Yes. Apparently, like, the way the book works, there's 2 generations. There's, like, them, and then I guess their kids, or the kids or something. Or I don't even know how it works. But it's, like, 2 generations. And I guess the director cut off the second part where the kids were going to be abused by him or something like that, which would have made him like a bad, I don't know. There was like all this stuff, but basically they aged her so it could make sense. But in the book, she is younger. But then people were also saying that Jacob Elordi looks way younger.
He did give like baby face for sure
Yeah.
compared to her.
Okay.
Which I will say, Owen Cooper though, that casting was so T. That looked like Jacob, like him and Jacob Elordi look just alike, which I would not have guessed
Is
until
that
they
the kid
like,
actor?
yes,
Oh,
did the
okay.
hair and the stuff. I bought that. That was real to me. Like that was good casting because I would not have seen that. Like I've seen Owen Cooper and other stuff, so it's like when I see him, you're not thinking Jacob Elordi at all, but that was Jacob Elordi. Like that was him. He regressed in age and then he went back. I was like shocked. It was really good casting to me.
How'd you feel about the wardrobe?
Pretty beautiful gowns. I just feel like it was good. It was fun, especially once she married like
Yeah,
hold on. I want to
into
have their names. Okay,
Edgar's family.
yes, once she married Edgar, like the gowns and the jewelry and the stuff, it was so fun to me. Like I actually didn't perceive it deeply other than like, ooh, shiny.
Because they said that it was historically inaccurate by design. And like for example, the maid, Nellie, she wore like the most closely historically accurate clothing, and I think that represented like her character and like traditional. She wore dark, and then like our main characters were like more brighter colors, more modern things, and it was just like, yeah, I can actually see that. Like she only wore like red, white, and black, if you noticed.
I did notice there was a lot of red. Like
Yeah, I like the red. I love red. It's really complimenting.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So overall, like though, in terms of casting, not necessarily like how their characters interacted with each other, but like performance level, like were they acting, were they not? Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordi, Hong Chow, like okay,
I
someone that stood out to me, Allison Oliver,
Isabella?
Isabella, say like
Okay.
really carried the movie. I'm gonna be honest. That at first I was like, I don't know how I'm feeling, but when I tell you, every line was delivered with the most precise timing, the right amount of humor. A character like that has to be somewhat difficult to play because of like the
Yeah.
awkwardness and also like the fact that it needs to be funny, but you can't think it's funny. Like it needs to be real to you.
Yeah.
So that's a lot to like manufacture at one time. So good directing, but also like great acting. Like it was just I said, I don't know. It's one of those where I'm like, oh, that was for you. Sometimes I see a role and I'm like, oh, so-and-so would have done well in that, or so-and-so would have done well in that. I'm like, no, this, like, girl, you've made it.
Yes.
Call your mom. Like, tell her you've made it.
That was very convincing performance because like it really I feel like we were able to peek into her mind. Like she was going through a lot too. Like she was super messed up. And I feel like it translated in her actions and what she did and how she interacted with the rest of the cast. And I think for something like that to show she's basically would you say she's mentally ill? To certain
Has to be. Has to
like
be.
yeah, like she's kind of low-key crazy, but like everyone thinks she's normal too, so it's not like I don't think she at that time would be considered like having mental issues. So like I think it's a delicate balance because you can't just be like playing a crazy character because that's not really how she's perceived.
Yeah, you're not getting
Crazy.
Hospitalized.
Yeah,
right?
You're actually just a normal girl, but she needed to showcase us that she actually is crazy too in the same sense. So I think she really did good on that. And honestly, everyone did good. I really like Nellie. Nellie did good too.
The house boots down. For sure.
Our stars, they did good. They did good. I think it felt flat. I think I wanted a little bit more oomph. I heard that Jacob Elordi filmed this after Frankenstein. And in Frankenstein, he played a little innocent, like, I don't know anything fresh on earth. Maybe it seeped into this.
Okay. I feel like that's interesting. And he's had some, booked and busy. Like, I gotta respect somebody that go to work, try to make their money. I respect it. Like, he is out there working.
I was a fan since Kissing Booth, by the way.
I love Kissing Booth. That is, like, such a cutesy
peak quarantine
rom-com.
time.
Very cute teen vibes. Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was, like, such a good movie, and it's unfortunate because I think
It was
he
not
didn't
that
enjoy. No, it was cute. I feel like now they roll out movies like that all the time. That one stuck with me. Like I like that one.
I can get on.
Yeah, and I feel like he actually did not enjoy that though, right? Like he kind of speaks not ill of it, but like against
it's kind of like Twilight and Robert Pattinson, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fair. I think a lot of actors sometimes get like typecasted and they just kind of want to.
They're like, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, like they're like that was embarrassing, but they kind of had to. But
yeah,
how did you feel about Kathy?
I think Margot Robbie did a good job. I will say, okay, and this kind of goes with what actually for Jacob Elordi, I was surprised. He did better than I thought he would do, which is my fault because after Frankenstein, I should have believed in him. But I feel like when you play someone like Frankenstein, it's easy to cover up if you're acting for real or not because of the character you're playing. He surpassed my expectations, but the bar was so low. What does that mean? I feel like Margot Robbie is someone that I'm looking at the same, not that she surpassed my expectations because I already think she's a great actress, but it's like she did good, he did good. Together, I don't know that I bought it. But did she do good? What would my criticism be? What would the correction be? I unfortunately don't have notes. So she obviously did fine. But I think it's one of those things where when you cast, the people have chemistry or they don't. There's no amount of good acting that can convince me that you have chemistry with someone that you don't. Unless, what was that, Rachel McAdams? Did she and Ryan Gosling, like, beef during filming, like, The Notebook or something?
With Lively?
No, I think, for some reason, I think it was Rachel McAdams. And, like, now they love each other, but at the time, they actually hated each other. And that's one where I bought the chemistry. So, unless you're Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling, like, I'm not buying the fruit that you're selling me. And I feel like with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, like, 10s, like, give them their 10s. Give them their 8s. Give them their 8s. But it's like together. It's just like if this were a movie only about Kathy, 8. If this were a movie only about Heathcliff, 8. But when they were together, there were moments where I was like, I'm not buying it. I'm not like I love them individually.
I did feel his jealousy. There was a scene like where he like kissed or they were kissing and he was sitting there and like the way his face just looked, like I actually felt the yearner in that part. There was pockets of yearning and that really felt authentic.
But I
don't think it was individual though. Like you actually are right. I think
exactly. Like I agree.
Yeah, it was like him reacting to what he saw. That felt authentic. Exactly. She wasn't really interacting with them two directly. Or it was like her doing something, lamenting over him. That felt authentic. But not necessarily when they were actually together. So I actually do agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say that also felt real to me. Like, especially towards the end, it actually came across, like, I was not always looking at Jacob Elordi. Like, there were times where I did not think of Jacob Elordi. I thought Heathcliff, which to me is like a great sign because I'm one of those people who watches movies and I see the actor the whole time. So the fact that I lost Jacob for a minute, I think he actually sincerely did a great job. But it's more so like when they're being like intimate, like I think it was actually like I don't know who the intimacy coordinator was, had to coordinate more than what was done because like it was like the
more coordination.
Like the kissing was not, that was the worst part for me, which is sad because like obviously like those are the moments that are supposed to be like all warm and fuzzy, but it's like no, I was like, I feel like there's a gun to the back of their head. Like I don't know, I was not buying that, but like their performances, like the way they delivered their lines made sense, like they objectively hit the mark. And that's why I was like, I think it's an individual success, but as a couple, am I showing up to your wedding? No, I think this is a sham. Like, so I think that was super confusing because that doesn't happen a lot. Normally it's like it all misses or it all hits. And this was one where I was like, oh, unfortunately, like if Jacob Elordi had done this with a different woman or if Margot Robbie had done this with a different man, it would have been 10s. But because you did it together and I'm not buying into your like actual like thirst romance for each other,
and stuff. Yeah,
I'm going to have to give you an 8 for that aspect.
An 8 isn't bad. for
it's
something
quite
that
good.
is not real, because
it's quite good.
8 out of 10, because I know they don't actually like each other, so they're actually trying to portray something really, really difficult.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm like, I don't know. I probably would have thought about that when casting, but I get why they did it. They're probably thinking, like, you know, what are some names that'll get people to, like, show up for this? But honestly, I think it could have only been one of them. And I have an opinion on which one should stay and which one had to be recast.
I know you want Margot to go.
It's not okay that I want her to go. It's just that
I think they forced the casting.
Jacob has to stay. He did so good that I'm like, now in my head, he's the only person who could have done that. I know that's not true, but that's how I feel. Whereas Margot Robbie, she did good, but I do believe there is a woman out there who Jacob Elordi would have been able to kiss without showing so much teeth, and she would have given the same level of performance. I think that's what it was. Watching them kiss, like, I was like, this is
uncomfortable.
I've just seen better actors kissing. I don't know. Maybe he kissing everybody like that, but I've never been watched something with him and been like, ew, before. I don't know. And also, what were you going to say? I was going to say Nellie ate the house boots down.
She did.
Also, insufferable character, by the way. Like,
she was the villain.
You are the villain of the story. You actually are the reason this all happened.
In the original, Heathcliff is the villain. Like, he's actually meant to be a villain, but the director stripped him of it, basically, to make him, like, to make people, like, root for them and stuff, because, like, you know, they wouldn't want to root for her to be with, like, an abuser or nothing, so they made him, like... So,
I was gonna say, how is he, like, in the book, the villain? Like, do you know?
Apparently, he's abusive. That's really all I got, to the point where it's just, like, she would be with an abuser.
He's abusive to Isabella or to, like, Kathy as well?
I think it's Kathy. Like, it's Kathy. Oh. And yeah. So I think that's why... Or the kids. Or something like that. To the point where they're like, he's actually a low-key evil character. And Nellie is just, I guess, in the background. But I guess they didn't want it to be like that. So they made her... Because they needed a villain. Because if you think about it, without her, who's the villain? It's not really the dad. He's just... I mean, he's not a good dad, but he's... I don't know. Like, he wouldn't be a villain because he's like higher. I don't know how to explain it. Like, he's like older. He's more up there. They needed someone that's more in their stratosphere to like infiltrate and be a villain. Truly intimate. And I think it had to either be him or her.
Right.
And they chose her for the audiences because I don't think the audiences would buy an abuser romance.
They watch Colleen Hoover movies all the time, so they might have. But
yeah, they probably didn't want to risk it.
Yeah,
These studios 2026.
Yeah, I just think I was so surprised because I had actually never even finished a full trailer for this movie. Like, I didn't know really much at all. And the fact that the dynamic between Heathcliff and Isabella blew my mind. Like, I can understand because, like, to her, he actually is abusive. And, like, but she's, like, also, like, low-key, she's here for, like, she's sad.
She likes it, though.
But, like, it's just, like, I guess it makes sense. If you think about her character, she's always been also funny timing the whole movie. But, like, the fact that she was just so quickly degraded, it just was, like, boom. I was, like, this is shocking. Now, my theater, I don't know how everyone's was, but my theater, you would have thought we were watching a comedy. The amount of laughter that happened in this movie, it was like constant, and I would say 70% of it was at Isabella. This girl had us dead. It was so funny. But like when she was like barking, it's so funny because you think she brought her dog because she had a dog, and it pans to her. I was like, this is a comedy.
This girl is actually outlandish.
It was actually like, I've not seen anything like that. Or like her collecting like Kathy's hair and then her getting upset and creating like a murder scene in the dollhouse and her like stabbing herself in the hand with her like needle and stuff and like everything. But what really had the most laughter is when Heathcliff came to Isabella and he goes like, I'm gonna be a horrible like husband to you and I'll never love you. Is that okay? Or no, he was like, do you want me to stop? And she was like, nope. Like, that had our theater rolling. Like,
really,
it was
you guys are so funny.
It was so funny, and I was like, okay, I obviously came to the right screening because I was gonna laugh regardless. But I'm so glad that everybody else found it funny because it was just like someone that down bad, like you just have to laugh. Or like she was sitting across the table and she like pulls her dress off her shoulder a little. It's like the little things. It was such a funny movie, and I feel like a movie like this needs that. And I feel like it shows, like, you know how they say like sarcasm is a sign of intellect. This feels like adjacent. Like in this kind of story, humor to me shows like intellect in like writing, because it could have been done without, and it could have been
like
super
100%,
heavy,
like serious.
Yes, and I think it's one of those things where you have to be super delicate if you are gonna add some humor in there, to where it's like this, where like some people will laugh, some people won't, but it's not gonna distract you and it's not gonna pull you out. It's just like life has humor in it, and this is real life. And I thought they did that so well. Like, I was really impressed.
I liked Isabella too. I think she changed the tone of the movie, because like I feel like for a movie like this heavy and like gloomy and stuff, the pace can feel a little slow. But I think when she came on screen, it kind of gave us a break from that, but without like taking away from the plot too much. I did like her. Honestly, I probably she probably had one of the stronger like plot lines and acting.
Yes. I think I need to read like a synopsis or something, or I'm so curious about like how the actual book went. Or I almost read the book beforehand, but like I didn't have time, and I'm super curious about Isabella specifically, like her and Heathcliff and like their dynamic. But I thought this also was one of those movies where, because you know, I'm not someone to run to a romance movie. I'm not someone to run to a period piece. And so it's fair to say I walked into the Cinemark on that day. Like, I was just there because I had a job to do and justice needed to be served. But by the time we got to the end, I was enjoying myself so much that it actually broke me when this girl had like sepsis or something because she lost a baby.
The baby.
I was like, because at first I was like, oh, she actually looks sick. And I was like, oh, to yearn to the point of like being on your deathbed. But it's like the fact that she told Nellie straight up, she's like, no, I lost the baby. And Nellie's like, nope. Basically lets this girl waste away, kept her, because I feel like if Edgar had went in there, he would have been onto something. He would have been like, no, she's sick. Let's get her help. She kept Edgar away and told Edgar not to go to her. She didn't give Kathy the letters. So Kathy died thinking that Heathcliff never wrote to her, never cared, that he married Isabella and never looked back. And I'm just like, that's so heartbreaking. And then in the end, when she's like hallucinating, I'm like, that's so sad. Like the fact that her brain even had to go to that place because he's not coming. And then he's riding the horse. It feels like they always get there super quick. The one time he needs to get there quick, he goes by horse, takes for freaking ever. And I'm just like,
what do you want him to take, Kelsey?
I mean, I guess he had no choice, but take by wolf. I don't know, but I just felt like it was so sad because it's just like he also thought that she never read the letters, or like she was reading them and like ignoring him.
Didn't care.
So he has to like live with that, and the fact that he married Isabella for this reason, and he did all of this, went and got married, did all of this only for the girl to die.
It's just miscommunication. Lack of communication.
A decade-long miscommunication, bro. Because even the first issue, before they finally like started getting together, that was all miscommunication. And again, at the root of the problem is Nellie. Like, and the fact that in the end she admits it. She's like, you know, maybe I saw what I wanted to see, or I didn't see I knew. And I'm like, that's actually evil. Like, and you have to tell Heathcliff, but she's never gonna tell anyone. Like, that man's gonna die. I just think like to save everyone some heartache, but she can't, because like they're gonna you're getting hanged, and like it's what do you do? It's just, it was so heartbreaking, and I thought this was one of those where it has a happy ending and it didn't. And that really upset me. I was so mad.
It's realistic, though. It's really realistic.
It's realistic, but I'm like, if you're going to take me through, like, all of this love, I don't want realistic. I want a happy ending. Pat it for me. Real nice. I was so hurt. I was so hurt.
What would you give this movie, Kelsey?
I would give this movie... Oh, this is so hard. Honestly, I'm going to give it an infraction and a soft one. Some of it is just like, if you're doing, an adaptation of a book, I understand you're going to have to change some things. Some things you don't need to change. And I feel like maybe more was changed than necessary. So that's really the bulk of the infraction. And then I would also say I wish that I had seen more chemistry between Margot and Jacob. And I know people might disagree with that, but to me, like when you say it fell flat, for me, that's why it fell flat. I was just like, again, I can't tell you that they didn't do their jobs. I think this was a movie, like the weight of it. This is like literally one of, like, I don't know, people have been waiting their whole lives for this moment, bro. And I just feel like if you're gonna make an adaptation of an Emily Bronte book, you have to
There's
do
two
more
other movies
of Wuthering Heights.
Yeah.
Then why are we making it again?
She said people have been waiting their whole lives. They made two
so now
others.
it's gonna have to be a felony, because I was trying to be gracious, because I just felt like this was a tall order. You're telling me it's already been ordered and served?
There's like
twice?
A 1920 version, and then there's like a really recent, I think 2000s or 1990s version.
If I watch it and it hits, like, I'm coming back here and I'm giving them life without parole, because what do you mean? Like, so you could already see where people messed up, and you still have the audacity. Like, I was being generous because I felt like this was a tall order, but like, no, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm just going to pretend like I didn't know that. So if I do want to give it an infraction, I'm also going to just say, like, this is one where they did their jobs, but you have to do more than your job if you're going to tell one of the greatest love stories of all time. Like, you have to do more. And I feel like they both tried, but it's like when you have apples and oranges, both great, nothing wrong with either. But like, do I want them both in my mouth at the same time? Maybe not. And that's all. I just feel like it's really just like unfortunate that they didn't, I don't know. They should have been able to convince me they were having an affair in real life, and they didn't. That's all.
I would have to concur with you. Because, like I said, I can't even sit here and lie and be like, oh, like Margot Robbie did bad acting or Jacob Elordi did. Like, it was actually all really good, honestly. Top level thespians, I really liked it. But I wasn't like, I want to put this couple on a wallpaper as my wallpaper because it inspires something for me. And there's couples that do that.
Correct.
There was no spark. It gave We're Working. We studied our script. But the chemistry is not there because that's human. That's not something you can really manufacture, honestly. That's honestly just getting along with people. And I think that wasn't necessarily there. I don't know if it's because Margot Robbie. I don't know what. But I think that's what lacked from here. And I think the supporting cast was able to hold their own in a way that I was able to go without it. So I was like, okay, I wish there was more, but there's not. But there's other things I can focus on. What I really liked was the set. I liked it felt very spaced out. It felt airy. It felt like there wasn't a lot of like events or anything going on. You know, like in Bridgerton, how they always got like a dinner party or something. It wasn't too many of that here. It felt very spaced out. Like I could breathe, and I like that. It could have come off as a little boring. Like maybe like, okay, like this is the dollhouse. It's just like freaking 2 locations, but I liked it, and for that reason, I give it an infraction only.
Fair. Yeah. It was a weird one. Because what do you mean the wall is skin? Like, that's so weird. Like, there were just so many weird things.
I wonder if that was in the book. I think low-key, we need to read the book. Because I'm like, what? How much of this was like the director just... Because, she be doing weird stuff. So, like, I don't even trust, like, some of the stuff that we saw. If that was just her creative, juices flowing. Or if it was actually, like, the book accurate. So maybe we should have read the book, but honestly, it was a good movie. I feel like my time wasn't wasted. I liked what I was seeing. Acting was great, 10 out of 10. The set was beautiful. Wardrobe was beautiful. Yeah, I like it.
Agreed. It seems like the box officers have done it again. We have agreed, and I'm sure J-Pat would have agreed with us,
I wonder what J-Pat would have said.
J-Pat would have been like, I don't care. There wasn't enough wrestling. That's what J-Pat would have said. So
Tron Legacy.
It's Troning time. That's all he would have said. Not enough motorcycles.
Oh, my God.
Yep. Well, next week, we are going to be back here on the Box Officers podcast watching How to Make a Killing, starring Glenn Powell. I actually really like him. So
I do too, ever since Top Gun.
Fire. Absolutely. He did such a good job. And I think I also really liked him in Twisters. He did good in that. I like him. Let him cook. So we'll see. We'll see what's popping. But you guys do let us know what you thought about this movie, especially if you read the book, because we have questions. So like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you back here next week on the Box Officers Podcast.